welcome back to another episode of the Tech Unlocked podcast, the podcast where we unlock the latest tech news, leaks, and rumors in the world of tech, and particularly the world of Apple, especially as you'll see in today's episode. We don't have anything about Android to talk about. But I'm one of your hosts, Benji from BenObi Tech, and I'm joined, as usual, by Taylor from TA Tech. Taylor, how's it going? How's your day been so far?
Man, it's been pretty good actually. I woke up this morning and I was like ready to go. I was gonna have a friend over to record some videos with me, and actually I was texting him right before we recorded, and that's why I had sent the link and had to get out because I was responding to his messages. Of course, he had to postpone, and I'm not going to be able to record what I wanted to today. But I am going to get some stuff done, so I'll get that done after we record this. As you know, Benji, I'm going to be doing a lot of cool new stuff for the channel. I'm going to be hoping to, expand a little bit, in my editing skills. So I'm learning a couple of new tricks. Probably going to add a couple of new transitions and stuff to the videos that I make. So yeah, things are coming along. I'm getting ideas rolling. So
That's awesome. Yeah.
yeah,
My
man.
day, my day's been pretty good. It's like 2 p.m. right now. I got woken up by the Amazon man this morning, so that was great. I was set
Oh,
to wake up
gee.
at I was set to wake up at a certain time. I had my alarm set, and then I woke up like 45 minutes before because Amazon knocked on the door and was like, the dog was going
Bruh,
crazy.
don't you love
So,
that? Don't you love that?
but it's fine. I got a few extra hours of time to do stuff, so it's been good. Um, but today
Awesome.
we have a pretty good episode. We've got quite a lot of stuff to talk about. Um, we don't have anything Android related. I've tried to look for stuff, but honestly, like nobody ever talks about what's happening
Boo.
in the Android world. Like in terms of leaks and stuff, you get the occasional
True
like Google
though.
drops the whole
True.
Pixel. Google drops the
Yeah.
whole
Yeah.
Pixel lineup, and they're like, "Oh, look, we're releasing a Pixel." But other than that, there's barely anything happening on the Android side. It's always Apple. It's like Apple's doing this, Apple's doing that, Apple's not doing this, Apple's doing this other weird thing. Apple's working on a car. That kind of stuff. It's always up in the air, and there's so much stuff that's going on. So today we've got quite a lot planned. We're going to start off by talking a little bit about, uh, I guess, giving you guys a little bit of a mini review on my 14-inch MacBook Pro, which I recently got. And then
How's
we're also
that
going to be
going, by the
talking.
way?
It's going great, but I'll talk about it in a second, Taylor. We don't want to jump
Sure.
ahead here. But we also are going to talk a little bit about how Apple services went down yesterday as of the recording this episode. So it was Monday the 21st when Apple services went down and stuff. We're also going to be talking about
Yeah.
iPhone SE, iPad Air 5, the studio display apparently having a bunch of storage that is never going to be usable. And then we're also going to be talking about MacBook Air being delayed. So we've got a lot of Apple stuff today. We might talk about Android and referencing different things, but don't hold your breath. If
Yep.
you're an Android fan and you hate Apple, then this is not the show that you should be watching or listening to. You should probably watch or listen to, I don't know, Android Authority or some other Android Android podcast or Lou Later. There you go. So
Later,
yeah, I guess we
yeah.
could start
Yep.
off with the mini review I have of the MacBook Pro. So, for those who don't know, I recently got a 14-inch MacBook Pro with 16 gigs of RAM, the 10-core CPU. I think it's the for the M1 Pro, so it's like the spec'd up M1 Pro with 1 terabyte of storage. And honestly, I've been loving this thing. It's literally flown through everything I've thrown at it. I was kind of worried about the 16 gigabytes of unified memory because I was like,
Mm.
maybe it's not going to be enough because I had 16 gigs of RAM on my other MacBook Pro and it really struggled. But I think RAM management on this computer is great. There's a couple of apps that slowed down a little bit, but I think it's because of the fact that they're not very optimized for Apple Silicon yet. The display is awesome. The notch, I don't even care about. Like most of the time, I don't even see it there. It's not intruding on my content. It's fine. The webcam is pretty nice. On the other hand, I really like the webcam, even though right now I'm using my Lumix G7 for those who are watching. And actually, the I'm not even using my microphone today. So if the audio sounds a little bit different, if it sounds bad, let us know because this is coming straight from the MacBook Pro. Um, I
I
think the
was
microphone sounds
noticing a
pretty
little
good.
bit of a difference, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I think it's pretty good. Of course,
Yeah, it's not bad at all.
it's not as good as my other microphone, which I'll be plugging in again probably tomorrow at some point. Um, but yeah, so far so good. I have not heard these fans run. This thing never gets hot. It's
Wow.
literally amazing. The display's so good as well. 120 hertz. It's cool, but I think it's like a bit overrated. Like honestly, I don't really notice. It's not that drastic of a of a difference to be honest. I mean, it feels a bit
Gotcha.
smoother, but ProMotion is cool. It's there. I don't really care about it at this point. Most of the time, I'm using my 75 hertz monitor, so I don't even notice it. But are there any questions you have, Taylor, about the MacBook Pro?
Nah, man. I mean, I've watched a lot of reviews, and I think it's pretty good. I actually, honestly, almost traded mine in for that one. Um, but I don't know. Maybe in a year or two.
Yeah,
I really
it's a great
love
computer.
I
So
really love mine. The touch bar. Um, how's that going for you?
that's the sad part about this computer. Like I love everything
Yeah,
about it, but then the touch bar, like I used to use the touch bar all the time for emojis. Like I'm a big person who loves to use emojis in like a bunch of messages. You probably know that,
yeah.
Taylor. Even like in descriptions of videos, I love to throw in a couple emojis in there. And like it's just a pain to do with this keyboard and stuff. Like you have to hold on the FN key, and then you could only put like one emoji, and then the thing disappears, and you have to do it again to put another. It's just like with a touch bar, you just tapped on the emoji button, and then you just scroll through, and then you could add emojis in. It would be really nice if Apple came out and like gave us an option for like an extra $200 to add the touch bar, or even give us a magic keyboard with a touch bar on it. That I think would be clutch. But I don't see
Oh
Apple doing that
yeah,
anytime soon.
yeah. That would be
And,
clutch. That would be clutch.
and they've added Touch ID to the Magic Keyboard, so they might as well add Touch Bar.
That would be sick. I gotta tell you,
But yeah,
that's
it's a
awesome.
pretty good MacBook. I love it. I'm probably gonna be doing a review at some point. Probably not now because I'm in the process of moving to a new channel. I'm still working out the details of that, but hopefully that will happen soon. But yeah, that's the MacBook Pro. It's great. For those who want to buy it, definitely buy one. Don't buy it from Apple if you're good to get like kind of the base model because I got mine from Amazon and I
Mm.
got it used.
Oh,
And
okay.
actually it wasn't even used. Like the box is destroyed. Like I've got the box here. The box is wrecked. Like Amazon, what did you do to this box? Like they put a bunch of tape on there. They like put unnecessary tape everywhere on this. And it just
What
ruined the
the
whole
heck?
box. Amazon, I hate you for that. But I mean, the computer was basically brand
I
new. Like it looks almost untouched. It's great. Um,
I
and I
watched a
pay.
video. Completely off topic here, but I watched a video of somebody's iPad Mini unboxing, and that was just destroyed. I was like, wow. I can't believe Amazon, out of all companies, I can't believe Amazon would not take care of their packages like that. Like
Yeah,
I feel, I mean, I honestly feel like some packages just get thrown onto the stairs and whatever. Like they'll just come full speed ahead and I'll just
yeah. Fortunately, Amazon's customer service is very, very good. I'd say it's almost as good as Apple's customer service.
Mhm.
Just because like sometimes you just complain about a product and they just send you a refund with no questions asked. They don't even ask you to send
Right,
the product
right.
back. Sometimes they're just like, "Oh yeah, just keep the product. We'll send
I
you a
mean, you
refund."
remember what happened to my last stream deck that I had ordered.
Yeah.
The package was on my stairs, no stream deck inside. Listen, man.
Oh, so it showed up in the end, but there was no Stream Deck in it.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, I didn't tell
Oh
you.
my day.
Yeah,
No, I thought it was just lost.
no, they left the package in on my door, but then when I went to go pick it up, the thing was ripped open and nothing was inside. Except there was a little note that said, "Sorry, your package was destroyed. You're gonna have to reorder it." And I'm just like, "What?"
What the heck?
Yeah.
Oh my
So.
days, that's so bad. Honestly, yeah, like sometimes Amazon screws up so bad. It's
Oh, you have no idea, bro.
kind of
You have
sad,
no
but
idea.
fortunately they didn't screw up with this computer. It was great. I saved like 500 pounds on it, which is a pretty big. That's like 700 bucks. That's how much I saved
Wow,
on
that's
this model
awesome.
just by buying it used, and it's like basically brand new. Like I don't even think this thing was ever set up. Like the
Wow.
accessories were all still packaged up and everything. And I think it even had like the film that it normally has inside the screen. It was really good.
Really?
I would definitely recommend if you ever do get a MacBook Pro, like a
Mm,
new one, or even any Apple device. I think, you're not buying it on launch day, of course. Then getting it used
right.
from Amazon is really really good. Definitely recommend
That's
it.
awesome.
But
I definitely like. I've seen like Travis MCP's Amazon Renewed. And I've been wanting to try that too. I don't know,
yeah,
maybe.
I've heard really good things about Amazon Renewed as well. It's kind of like I saw a video that was comparing Amazon Renewed to Apple like certified refurbished. And like they're
Yep.
very, very similar. Like Amazon, of course, gives you a little bit less. Like you don't have the Apple warranty, you don't have Apple, you can't get Apple Care, that kind of stuff. But Amazon Renewed is still really, really good. And you can get some really good deals for Amazon Renewed products as well. So I mean yeah, it's great. I love this computer, no issues. It's fantastic. Honestly. I
That
don't I couldn't be happier at
that's
this point.
awesome.
But if it ever
Uh
does slow down within the next like 25 days, then I'm probably
yep.
going to return it and get a beefier model. But I don't see that happening because this is really good. I love it.
That's great. That's great, man.
But yeah, I think we can move on to our next
Absolutely.
topic. Unless you have anything else you want to say about the MacBook Pro or anything like that.
No, 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 no. We can move on. Um I'm sure it'll come back to subject anyway, so
Yeah, that always happens in our episodes.
right. So first topic of the day we got here. A lot of Apple services were down for half the day yesterday. Or was it at this point,
It was
was
a
it
bit. It was a few hours or
day?
like half a day. I don't know how long it was, but
Yeah.
it was a while.
So I honestly didn't really experience anything. I mean, everything that I use works perfectly fine. Um you were talking about using Safari off podcast, and I mean, honestly, I use Chrome, so that wasn't a problem.
Yeah.
So, but it is weird to see all these different services going down. So, what are your
Yeah,
thoughts?
and
And
I mean, this isn't something that happens very frequently. It happens maybe like once every couple of years. But it was very strange. Apparently 26 services were affected by the outage. And now I think
yeah,
all of them
yeah,
are back up and running. But things like App Store, Apple Arcade, Apple Fitness Plus, Apple Music, Apple TV Plus, Apple Care on device. Don't exactly know why that would be down. Find My, iCloud account and sign in, iCloud Calendar, iCloud Drive, iCloud Keychain, iCloud Mail, iTunes Store, Maps, everything on Maps basically, um, podcasts, radio. Yeah, all of these services were down yesterday for a big chunk of the day. Like the only thing that I was really, I think it was just Safari. I don't exactly know
hmm
why that's not listed on here. But yeah, Safari wasn't working for me, and I was like, this is so strange. Like I was trying to type something in, kept pressing the enter key, nothing happened. I was like, this is very strange. Switched to Chrome and it was fine. That was the
oh well,
only thing I experienced it. But my parents were traveling
yeah,
yesterday because they went to get something, and they called me and they're like, "Hey, is Maps working for you? Because like it's not working for us. We don't exactly we kind of know the way to get home, but we don't really know um like how long it's going to take us to get there and stuff like that." And like I was like, "No, I mean I don't know if Maps is working for me or not. I didn't even check." But then a couple hours later, I find out that a lot of Apple services were down, including Maps. So like, I
yeah.
told them I was like, just try Google Maps, and I think they ended up doing that. Um, but it was like the
Google,
strangest thing. and
Google
I didn't even
services for the
notice it.
win.
Yeah, I mean Google services do go down as well. But I don't know if you've seen the article that I put in the show notes. But there's a picture that somebody posted. Apple Store systems are down, and they're literally doing everything on paper. And there's a picture of like these three Apple employees that are doing everything on paper, like taking card payments on the phone because
Oh
their
yeah, I see
systems are
that.
down. Like that's so funny.
Damn. Damn,
Yeah,
bro.
it's crazy though how this stuff still happens. Like I guess it's the thing that happens, but when these things do happen, it really is an inconvenience for a lot of people. Um, Unfortunately, it's not a regular thing that happens. Like
You-
for example, Windows updates happen just randomly, or at least they used to.
Right.
Uh, and they used to like stop people. Like there's a I don't know if you've seen there's like a clip that keeps going around on at least on my TikTok where it's this guy they're like it's like NASA or something and they're trying to communicate with some ship that's flying somewhere I don't know so,
No, I haven't seen that.
and then the guy's like oh no Windows is updating I can't do anything for 40 minutes and then the head chief guy's like how are we supposed to get in touch with our team then? I don't know. Windows is updating. I don't know what's going on. It's like,
Jeez.
yeah, but I guess Apple's kind of had that issue now with all of their stuff. It's crazy though. Like a lot of people got lost, I'm sure, yesterday if they didn't have
Oh
Google
yeah.
Maps.
Oh yeah. I'm sure. I'm sure. Because you know what, you never can appreciate something until you don't have it. You know.
Exactly. Like even I think
That's
the crazy even what else was crazy is iMessage and Apple Music were down. So like a lot of
yeah.
stuff
I
was
kind of
down.
noticed that. I kind of noticed that because I was texting my mom and it kept saying that send us text, and I'm just like, what the heck? I'm like, okay. And then she even
Yeah.
walked over to me. She's like, why is this green? I'm just like, don't ask me. And then like
You
when we
have
were
I
going
switched
home,
to Android. I switched to Android very soon.
yo, listen. So, I actually threw somebody off the other day. It was funny. My friend has both iOS and Android. He likes to test both worlds.
Yeah.
And so he has a Galaxy Watch. The other day, I sent a picture to one of my Android buddies, the guy that was supposed to be here today doing videos with me, and I told him I got the watch. And last night we were playing online, and he's like, "So how's that watch going for you? Are you liking it? Are you not liking it?" I'm like, "Dude, I was just fooling with you. I didn't get the watch. That was my other friends." And he's like, God damn it! I knew you weren't gonna be that easy to switch to Android. I'm like, hey, uh,
That's funny.
yeah. So, yeah, bro. But honestly, like, when these things go down, it's
It
bad.
sucks. Yeah.
It really sucks for us.
Fortunately, it was only down for like a couple hours, so it wasn't. I mean, it didn't impact my workflow at all. I just had to switch to Chrome, which was a little inconvenient.
Yeah.
And then Safari was working afterwards. Like I've been using Chrome exclusively for like the past month or two. But then
Oh
as I
wow.
switched to the new MacBook Pro, I kind of want to try Safari because it's optimized for the M1, that kind of stuff for M1 Pro.
Yeah.
So yeah. But I guess
That's awesome.
I guess we can move on to the next topic we have for today, which is the new
Yep.
iPhone SE has nearly a 10% larger battery, and it's actually been showing that way for a lot of people. Like I've seen a lot of people tweet out they've been getting like 6 hours plus screen on time on the iPhone SE, which is crazy
Wow.
because like the last
Wow.
iPhone SE's battery sucked. Like a lot of people
Yeah.
really complained
Yeah.
about it. So now it's got a 10% larger battery. Instead of having an 1800 milliamp hour battery, it has a 2000 milliamp hour battery, which is pretty good. That's like 200 milliamp hours of increase. And with the Apple A15 Bionic, it really is propelling battery life even further in the power efficiency department. So a lot of people are really like surprised that this phone is really good. And I think the A15 is really one of the best processors Apple has made just because of its power
Oh yeah, for
efficiency.
sure, for
Like even
sure.
with my 13 mini and my mom as well, she got a 13 mini and she had an iPhone 7 which had like I think 40% battery health. It was terrible. 50%. I
Oh
don't know how
God,
much it was.
what?
But it was so bad. I don't know how she survived with it for like she's had it for like 4 or 5 years. Um but she finally switched to the
Benji,
13 mini and
how
then
would you let it go that low, bro?
but the other day she was like, "Oh, my phone's on low battery. It hasn't done this in I've not had low battery in a while." And so I was like, "Oh, that's interesting." Even with me, like my 13 mini, even though I've got it charged most of the time and I don't use it as much as I used to, just because I've got my MacBook, I've got my iPad, I've got my Apple Watch, so I use my phone a
Bro,
lot
I
less.
never listen. I never like really touch my phone at home. I'm always on my MacBook or my iPad or my Apple Watch. Like when I'm away
Yeah,
from my things and I get notifications, I just you know.
it's so
So
convenient. And like this phone rarely drops below 30%, even though I've got it charged most of the day. Like most of the day it's above 80. Um, but it's yeah, with its battery efficiency, I think it's really good. I did make a video saying that battery life might have been a bit worse.
hmm.
And I guess I'm wrong. I'm wrong. I admit it. Battery life
Oh
is better. It's still I think it's still not probably not going to be like in the long run. It's probably still not going to be as amazing as like the 13 Pro or the 13 Pro Max that have that huge
yeah, yeah.
battery that does that kind of stuff. But I mean, considering it's got this nice upgrade, especially the fact that over the weekend the third generation iPhone SE is sold out now,
Right.
and it's back ordered. I think a lot of those people who have bought it who just need a phone that works. I think this battery life, the battery life is definitely going to be great, a great extra feature to have there. Um, yeah, I think it's great.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So moving on, new iPad Air 5 has issues. Um, so I've seen a couple people talking about this. Apparently, it starts like creaking inside when you move it, and I don't know. It's really odd, but I mean, yeah, they should have really tested that out before selling it, in my opinion. But what are your thoughts, Benji?
Yeah, apparently what they're saying is that the aluminum backplate is a lot thinner on the iPad Air 4. I guess that's because they had to fit in the M1, and maybe because the M1 is a bit of a bigger processor, it needs a bit more space. So I mean, it kind of sucks that the materials aren't very good. Um, because I mean, it's a great iPad, I think, and it really is going to be a great upgrade for people. But the fact that like the build quality is kind of taking a little bit of a hit is not that great, to be honest. I'm
Yeah,
sure it's no big deal though. I think this is kind of something that's going to be blown out of proportion, just like a lot of things that Apple does is always blown out of proportion. Like, oh, iPhones are too expensive, or like AirTags, they're used by criminals to track people and stalk people, or even Jellygate. Oh, I can't use my iPad anymore because
dude,
when I
dude, that
steal
was the
the latest
worst.
Jelly, people just overreact. I think it's because there's many more Apple haters I think than there are Google or Samsung or OnePlus or Xiaomi or
I
Huawei haters
swear,
out there.
man.
And like
I
those
swear.
haters are so bad. Like I was having an argument with some guy the other day who's like, "Oh yeah, PCs are superior. They're so much better. Why would you use a Mac? It's so old school." I was like, "Look, mate. Like the new Macs that have been coming out recently with Apple Silicon have literally been destroying the whole PC game in terms of like
Exactly.
productivity. Of course,
Exactly.
they may not. Yes, they may not be amazing at gaming and stuff like that, but still, they're literally the best computers you could buy. And we'll be talking a little bit about this later as well. They're even some of the best selling computers or devices on the market. Like iPads are way above
Yeah.
any other brand that makes
Oh
tablets.
yeah,
Like
dude.
Samsung and Apple are like on the top, but there's a huge gap between them.
Dude.
Like Apple is just They do
For
everything.
the,
Like, even though they may have slight imperfections, like no one is perfect, nothing is perfect, no device will ever be
yeah,
perfect. Like, if I throw my iPhone at the wall and it breaks, I'm not gonna complain. I'm not gonna be like, "Oh, it broke. It's not good. Oh no, Apple has made terrible devices." That's not what people do. Because like,
yeah,
if you throw it at a wall, of course it's gonna break. Like, even this, like, yes, the build quality isn't as good. We also have to consider that this iPad is a mid-range iPad. It has the
right.
M1 processor. It's just as powerful, I think, or maybe a little bit less than the iPad Pro itself. It's got the exact same processor that you can get in a 24-inch iMac, and that thing is huge.
Yep.
Or even a Mac M1 Mac Mini or M1 MacBook Pro. Yes, it may not be able to do as many things software-wise, and that kind of sucks about iPad OS, but it's still a great device. And even though it has these slight trade-offs, maybe with build quality being a little bit less, fortunately they didn't raise the price. Because like they could have
Exactly.
easily done that. They
Exactly.
could have said, "Well, M1 gives us the can justify this thing costing more," but they
Yeah.
didn't,
Yeah.
did they?
Yeah.
So they had to compromise on other things. And I mean, most people are going to have this in a case anyway. So even if the thing is a little bit more fragile, it's not going to be a problem for the average consumer because they're going to be using it in a case. They're not going to be like me going
Right.
around without a case on my iPad. So yeah,
I mean, even me, like I I try to run without cases, and like, yeah, it just doesn't work for me. I'm too clumsy, so I don't trust
you,
myself at
you need to,
times.
you need to get yourself that Apple Care Plus.
Yeah.
Or you probably
Listen,
need something like Apple Care Plus Plus Plus.
I almost got it for my MacBook just because, like, now I'm like going back and forth from my desk to here, to do recordings and stuff. Um, but like, I mean, honestly, I'm pretty careful with my stuff. My MacBook honestly doesn't even leave this room half the time. I probably took my MacBook upstairs like once or twice, so I can do some editing, um, you know, and still watch TV with my parents and stuff. But most of the time, I'm usually doing everything in here, so it doesn't really matter. Um, I've thought about getting Apple Care Plus for like my phone and stuff, but it's just, I don't know, man. Things are expensive, so
Yeah, I I got Apple Care for my iPhone and my Apple Watch just because like especially for my Apple Watch because I'm afraid that
yeah.
I'm gonna break this thing by like banging it around. It already has a tiny little scratch on it, which I'm not happy about at all. That's probably one of the things that I kind of regret. But yeah, if I have Apple Care, I can always just go out without a case, and then if the phone breaks, it's not I don't have to be paying like $500, basically
Right,
selling a
right.
kidney to get my phone fixed or get a new one. So it's what was I gonna say? Yeah, so I think, and also the way I got it, I pay for it monthly, so then it's a lot. Well, it's not a lot cheaper in the long run, but it's a lot cheaper and more sustainable. Like I pay like $5 a month for the Apple Watch, and I think it's like 10 for the iPhone, which isn't that
Oh
bad.
wow.
And if it breaks, there's only an excess of like $25 or something to change the screen and stuff like that. So I think I mean it depends if you're somebody who thinks you need Apple Care and you don't like cases or whatever, then that's
Yep.
cool. But I mean if you wear a case on your phone and you're maybe very protective over it and stuff, then maybe it makes sense to get Apple Care and stuff. But
Right, right.
yeah, what were we even talking about? Was it iPad Air?
Yeah, I've had air.
Anyway, I
Oh
think I
man.
think unless you have anything else about iPad Air you wanted to talk about, we can move on to the next
Yeah,
step.
definitely. Definitely.
Awesome.
Um,
So, Apple Studio Display. It's a great display, but apparently has 64 gigabytes of storage on it,
why? I don't know.
and apparently two gigabytes are being used. I'm really confused. Like, why does a monitor need storage?
That's just weird.
Like, I didn't even
That's
know that
just
was a thing. It's
Yeah,
like,
me
yes,
either.
maybe you need storage for to store the software for center stage or whatever. Um, that might be it.
True.
because I mean it's got they've got an A13 Bionic
Yeah.
in this thing, which and some people have been joking around like, oh, whenever they do a teardown, there's gonna be an iPhone 11 that's strapped into there, which wouldn't surprise me. I mean, it's got 64 gigabytes of storage.
No, yeah.
They probably made an excess amount of iPhone 11s, and they're probably not selling as much as they wanted to. So they just take they take the refurbished iPhone SEs. Somebody trades in an iPhone 11, sorry, not SE, but they trade in an iPhone 11. Like, oh, what are we gonna do with these? Oh, let's just take out the motherboard and everything and just stick it into a display.
So weird, man. Like when I even saw that, I'm like, why? I mean, you're connecting this thing to like a MacBook or a Mac. Um, so why have the storage? I mean,
Yeah,
maybe it's like you said, but I just don't see um, why this is a thing, honestly.
yeah. It's like, and then we find out that they have storage on the MagSafe puck that Apple sells.
Dude, that's like what
This
the
has
heck?
16 gigabytes of storage. What? Just to run an animation.
Jesus.
Probably Apple's cases do as well. They have hidden like 1 gig of storage to show the animation.
Yeah.
I
So
don't
I
know.
actually got a new case for my phone that's MagSafe, but it doesn't show
Ooh.
the animation, which kind of bums me out.
Yeah, I think that's just an Apple. That's just an Apple thing. Like I love it. It's so unnecessary, but like every time I connect it, it does like that cool animation.
Dude, that's
It's
so
just an extra like little feature that I mean, average people will not care. They're just gonna like put their phone in their case and never take it out. But like for me,
right,
who
right.
constantly is changing cases or like I'm taking my phone out of my case for a while
Dude.
and then I stick it to my case, it's just so satisfying. Even the sound that it makes, it's
So
just ah.
so I got myself a new Apple Watch band. This is one of the sport loops. And I love this thing, by the way. Uh
Is it an Apple Sport Loop or is it just one that you got from Amazon or
it's
something?
just one I got from Amazon. I don't know who makes it. But it kind of looks like the ones that Apple make, to be honest with you.
Yeah,
Um,
it's very easy to
but
replicate those bands, honestly.
right, exactly. So with that, I actually got the new case, and I mean, I like it. I like how it has a little lip to it. But dude, I really wish that they had that animation. That would be awesome.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
But
But I guess that's an Apple exclusive thing. You have to buy the Apple thing to have that animation, Taylor. You're not just
I
gonna get
will
it.
one
Like
day.
even
I
even
don't
with
care. I will.
like
But
even with MagSafe accessories, it kind of sucks that like a lot of third-party ones, like even MagSafe wallets and stuff, like you stick them to the back of your phone. Like if they're
yep,
not Apple, they don't have like the cool animation and like they don't have Find My, that kind of stuff. That's the kind of exclusive to Apple. I guess that's why you pay more. That's why you pay $50 instead of paying five for Apple's thing. But
yeah, yeah.
anyway,
Um, yeah, we're getting off topic a little bit,
we keep
but
getting off topic with everything. We're talking about the display, and I guess this kind of segues really nicely into the next topic, which is about displays. Do you wanna address that?
sure, sure. So studio display cable only removable with a special tool. Why? Why?
It's so strange. I didn't
That
even
is
know like
so, bruh. Like, why?
who. The
I
question is why do companies still make like monitors and stuff like that that have a
yeah,
built-in
yeah,
cable? It's
yeah,
so inconvenient. Like, let's say I buy this studio display now, and then I want to move to the States. I move to the States, and I have to get like an adapter plug if I want to use this
yep,
monitor, or because like, or if I want to like change the cable and get an American one, I have to go to the Apple store and they have to put this weird tool in it to pull out the cable, and then it's like Apple, why are you making it so hard for us? Like I think the same thing was is present with the HomePod. I don't know if the HomePod Mini is the same thing. Like it's got like a cable that's not exactly removable, but
yeah. It's not.
why? Why?
I I almost broke
Especially,
the thing trying to like test it out and see if I could do
oh boy,
anything, but yeah,
oh
that
boy.
was bad.
It's like in the day and age where like you get an iMac and you can detach the cable and attach it and stuff. Even I think with cable management, like if you want to put this thing on a desk, you're not gonna
Yeah.
like at least here in the UK, our plugs. Let me show you kind of like what if I can find one. No, anyway, but our plugs are a lot bigger than like American ones. Like we have like a three-prong thing that
Hmm.
like plugs into the wall and stuff. So it's a lot bigger. Um, yeah, I can't find one. But yeah, like putting that, like especially the kind of desk I have where I have like a thing that I can feed cables through. I'm not gonna take
Yep.
the plug and like stick it in there. It's like too big. Um,
Yeah. Yeah.
so so like with this, because the cable's not removable, it's a lot harder to do that because you have to feed the plug into the behind the desk or wherever. And it's just a nightmare to do. So it's kind of weird that it requires a special tool. And I wonder, like, is this special
I
tool
don't
like only available from Apple? And have you even seen a picture of the tool?
No, I haven't. Is it on here?
It's on the article.
Man.
This thing looks absurd. So
Let me
why
see
do you
this.
need something that big to remove a cable?
What the heck? If you guys don't know what we're talking about, check the show notes. This thing is crazy, crazy, crazy big. That is
Yeah,
not necessary. That should not be necessary to freaking get a cable out. Like, what the heck? I've never seen something like this before. That is so weird.
exactly. Yeah, like let's say you damage the
So
cable
weird.
as well. You'll go to
Yeah,
Apple and they'll basically charge you as much as a new monitor just to change the cable, probably.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah.
Like there
Wow.
are some people that apparently have been able to remove the cable themselves, but
Just
it's
tugging on it,
dangerous.
put their foot on it, just.
Yeah, just destroy the display in the process. It, honestly,
Shit,
I guess
that's just.
some people are saying it's because of the thin design and stuff like that, which I guess could kind of make sense. But still, like it's still removable, but you need a special tool to do so. It's very strange.
Yeah, that's that.
And
No,
it's only and
no.
you can't even get a hold of this tool yourself. You have to like only Apple can.
So what? You have to take the display to Apple and have them do it?
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah. You
What
have to go
the
to an Apple store and then they have to remove the cable.
next
Why? It's
next you're
like
gonna tell me
I'm
next you're gonna tell me that we have to pay for that for them to do that.
most likely, most likely. I mean, imagine you buy an iPhone and it's got like the cable just permanently attached. And
That
then you're like,
oh
oh, I want to
god.
unplug my iPhone now. I want to stop it from charging. You have to go all the way to the Apple store to get them to remove it.
That's just stupid, man. I'm sorry, but like
Oh
what
my
the heck?
days. Apple and their like I love Apple. I love you guys, but seriously, some of this stuff you do is like, why? Who designed this?
You're
That kind of stuff.
well, it
Anyway,
goes back to what you said. No company's perfect,
exactly.
you know?
Samsung makes plenty of mistakes, and
It's
sometimes
oh jeez.
it costs people like third degree burns or however many degrees.
Yeah,
Just casually
exactly.
walking down the street with their phone in their pocket and then just
All of a sudden it
poof
just
explodes.
yeah.
But anyway, moving on to the next story here. So some videos have been showing that like the Mac Studio is upgradable, but actually isn't. Like you can physically upgrade. I think it's the RAM or the storage, one of the two. You can
Yep.
physically upgrade it, but Apple doesn't support it in the software. So like if you buy an Apple Mac Studio, as of right now, maybe Apple will release a software update that allows you to upgrade this stuff. As of right now, you can't upgrade it. Not to mention, it's very hard to remove the bottom part off the thing so you can upgrade it. Um,
Right.
but Apple's blocked it in software where you can basically, when you like want to put in an extra SSD or like let's say you buy half a terabyte because you're like, I'm going to upgrade it with expandable storage later on, and then you want to replace it, you can't because the software doesn't allow you to do that. It's kind of
That's
stupid.
just
I
yeah,
think it's the
yeah,
same thing with the RAM. So because I think it's kind of funny how a lot of people complain about how the fact that Apple Macs aren't upgradable. And like you could only change the RAM on the iMac when Intel was a thing with iMacs and stuff. And then you could like upgrade the new Mac Pro, the Mac Pro that they released a few years ago, that you can
yep,
upgrade. And like they made it all modular and stuff. And Apple was like, yeah, you can upgrade it. It's great. This is what everybody wanted. And then now they're kind of going back. They're like, no, actually, you know what? That was a terrible idea. We're just going to go back to like nobody's upgrading. No, nobody's paying an extra 50 grand on a new Mac Pro. Let's just make it so they can't upgrade it. So then they have to pay us every couple of years to buy a new one. Um, it's
that's
like
oh my god,
they're just going back on what they're doing. It's kind of
yeah,
funny, but I guess again,
it's
Apple's not perfect, but I think it's fine. I don't really mind. Like yes, you'll have to buy a new computer in like
yep,
5 or 6 years, just because like the RAM and the storage won't keep up with you. Um, Especially the RAM. But
yeah, yeah.
actually, no, I don't think you can even upgrade the RAM here. I think it's just the SSD that you can change. But still, it's like a lot of pro users will not be happy because they can't upgrade their SSDs. They're like, oh, I bought half a terabyte and now I can't upgrade it. How sad. You should have just got the 8 terabytes to start off with.
Yeah, for sure. Exactly. Yeah, man. Um, you want to move on with the next one, or do you have anything
Yeah, sure.
else?
Nah,
All right.
that's all my
So,
rant.
yeah. So new MacBook Pros with mini LED outsell all OLED or OLED um, laptops combined. What are your thoughts?
I think this is crazy. I mean, it's
Yeah.
not exactly crazy because I mean it's a MacBook. People will buy it
Yeah.
no matter what display it's got, even if you
Oh
stuck in
yeah.
like a 720p, even if you stuck the like a bunch of iPhone SE displays together on the MacBook Pro, people would still buy it.
Oh yeah.
It probably wouldn't sell as well as it is now, but it's kind of crazy because like a lot of like manufacturers are like, oh, look, it's an OLED display. This
Dude.
display on the laptop is amazing. And then Apple comes around with their mini LED LCDs and they just completely outsell the OLED displays, which I guess goes to show that people don't care about OLED as much. Plus, I mean, I've got a mini LED display on my MacBook Pro and
Yep.
it's great.
Yep.
Like the blacks are really nice. Like yes, you could tell that it's not pure black. Like that's something I love about my iPhone being OLED. Like every time something black shows up, it's really nice because it's really black and you can't see the notch sometimes and stuff like that or the bezels.
That's
Um,
dude. You don't even know.
and the MacBook
One of my
Pro is
favorite things.
very it's very close, but it's not quite
Yep.
there. Um, and honestly, I don't really mind. It's like most of the time, I'm not even going to be paying attention to that. But
Exactly. Exactly.
I think I think mini LED is pretty good. I think it's cheaper than OLED. It's got yes, you trade off a few things that you get with an OLED display, but
Yeah.
it's still great. It's a display. It is what it is.
Exactly. Exactly.
Most
I
people are
mean,
going to
if
be
you
using a monitor anyway, so you know.
right, exactly. So it's not it's not really a big deal. But um, but
Also,
there are going to be people that make a big deal out of it, though. So we'll talk about that if that ever happens.
yeah. Also, I think here, so it's saying that Apple's surprised its competition with a 120 hertz display implementation with no OLED notebooks yet available at 120 hertz. Yeah, so basically, like there currently are no computers, no laptops on the market with 120 hertz and OLED. And Apple,
Hmm.
yes, theirs is an OLED, but um it's still like not what was I gonna say? It's mini LED, which is still almost as good as OLED. So
Right.
I think that's really good. It's the only display. It's the only laptop that has a almost OLED display, but with 120 hertz. So that's pretty cool.
pretty cool, man. Um, yeah, I was gonna say something and I forget. Uh, I hate when that
Always
happens,
happens.
bro. I hate when that happens. But do you want to move on to our next subject here, or?
Of course, yeah. And we were talking a little about this on your live stream yesterday.
Yep.
So apparently, finally, after this thing's been out for 50 years, the Apple Watch
50
Series 3 will finally be discontinued this year, according to Ming Chi Kuo, who is 72.5% accurate according to Apple Track. And this is due to the slow chip, not small, slow chip inside, because the computing power can't meet the requirements of the new Watch OS. So this kind of sucks because
Dude,
basically
dude.
they're going to be discontinuing the Apple Watch Series 3. Why? Well, because it's not going to be able to run the latest version of Watch OS, which is pretty
Bruh,
strange. Why is
bruh,
Apple still selling a
bruh.
device that's going to be discontinued in software this year?
So weird. So weird. I mean, like you said, I mean, this thing is old already, um, and just really outdated. So honestly, like, it just makes sense that they do that. But for the reason, I mean, I don't think, I don't think that's, I don't know. I
Yeah,
don't
I
know.
think I
It's just
personally
weird.
think it is. I personally think the oh my days, my camera's just gone weird. But I personally think the Series 3, it's really about time that they discontinue it because that thing is old and
Yeah.
like a lot of people still own it and still buy it somehow. Like I don't know who in their right mind would still want to go and buy such an old smartwatch with even the super old bezels that it has. Like when I jumped from the my Series 2 to the Series 7, it was a huge jump in display size. Like I can't look at a Series 2 now or Series 3 without like kind of cringing inside because I'm like that how did I manage to use a display that was that small?
Yeah,
It's
that's true.
I mean, I guess for $200 it's still a pretty decent deal, but I think it's about time that they discontinue that thing. Like that thing, the processor is really outdated, and even the design itself. Like they could easily, I think now that
Design
the
itself. I
the
mean,
SE that they're releasing the Apple Watch SE 2,
yep,
um,
yep.
that will start at 249, which will replace the current SE, which will then drop to probably 199, which I think is a fantastic starting price for a watch, especially
Oh
for the
yeah, for
SE.
sure.
If it drops to that price, like the SE is a really good deal. Like you have one. Um,
Yes, yes,
it's a really good
dude.
smartwatch
I
for the
listen.
average buyer, really.
I honestly like. I don't even notice too much about the size difference. I think for me, it's still perfect. Um, and I mean, at
Yeah,
the
because
starting price.
that's because you haven't tried a Series 7 yet with the
Yeah,
bigger
yeah,
display.
yeah. Whatever, Benji. Whatever.
Then
No,
you'll want
I've
one.
seen it. I've seen it, and they are pretty cool. But I
Yeah, like
mean,
even look at the edge of the. Oh no, you can't even see it. Never mind.
yeah, no.
Kind of curves to
try,
the edge.
trying to show off, trying to show off over here. Listen, man. For somebody who just wants it for notifications and stuff, really doesn't. I
Oh
mean,
yeah, I
I
think
don't
I think if I
use any
had
of.
yeah, I think if I had a smaller display, if I had the SE, if I didn't buy the Series 7 and I bought an SE, I'd be fine. I'd be happy with it as well. It's
Right,
like it's kind of
right.
like when you try something new that's better, and when you go back, you're like, oh, this sucks. Um, So just don't do that, and you'll be
Yeah,
fine.
I would. Yeah, I
Just don't
would love
try.
to
Just
get
don't try a Series 7,
right. Yeah, I would
and then
love
you'll
to
be
get
you'll and
that
then you'll
new
love your
watch
display.
face.
Yours is perfect.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh yeah,
I would
this
love to
one.
get that new watch face. Yeah, yeah. I love that. I don't know why, I just do.
It's so
Um,
cool.
dude. So, but that would for me, that would be the only reason I would get it. Cuz I don't know, I feel like So here's the thing, and I actually want to ask you: do you, when you go out to like formal things, do you actually ever change your watch face to like match with stuff?
Yeah, I've been doing that a lot recently. Like
Have you?
every time I change my band, I normally have a watch face for each band. Like I've got, I think like five of these like braided solo loops. They're not from
Yep.
Apple. I'm not that posh. Um, and I've got different colors for the contour watch face, for example. And then maybe if I feel a little bit sporty, I've also got a bunch of Nike watch faces that are with the different colors of bands I have. So yeah, like if I go
Okay.
to a formal thing, if I go to church every Sunday, I normally put like a nicer band on and I change the watch face to something like an analog watch face. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, and it's not
Like,
like the Series 7, especially the Nike version. It's very nice because
mhm,
you've got so many watch faces to choose from. You can customize it in so many different ways. Um, I mean, I
right.
I don't even though I don't like most of the watch faces on the Apple Watch, there's some that are really good and some that I didn't like that I tried. Now I really
Yeah.
like. I like the
I.
ones that have a lot of complications on them.
Mhm.
Because
Mhm.
like just having the time, the date, and my activity rings sometimes doesn't really cut it for me. I kind of like to see the weather, the temperature outside, that kind of stuff. But I guess you always have Siri for that kind of stuff. But
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know if you could. You can probably see it upside down. Come on, turn on. I don't know if you can see that really well. Hang on, let me do this. So that's like my watch face
oh,
for
that's
like,
cool.
yeah, when I go out to different things. Because I think it's pretty cool to have um, these kinds of faces. But I kind of wish that there was, what the heck? What'd you
I was playing
do?
around with the thing. I was just playing around with the thing.
But I kind of wish that there was more, more formal watch faces. Kind of like the one that you have with your watch.
Yeah,
I think
I
that
mean,
one would
there's
be
one that
like,
I really like that I use sometimes. I don't know if you have it as well. It's a California watch face. This one. Wait, no,
yeah, I think
that's a calendar.
that's a calendar. Yeah. I have that one too.
Yeah, this one's nice, and I sometimes use this formal
Um,
stuff.
if you guys that are listening have any ideas as to watch faces that are like cool and formal, tweet out at us and let us know what you guys are rocking with. That'd be awesome. But yeah, do you want to move on with the last thing, or should I?
Yeah, you can take it away.
All right. So the last thing that we're going to be talking about today is MacBook Air delayed to second half of 2022. Man, I was kind of hoping to see this sooner, but I don't know. When do you think it's going to come out? WWDC or what?
I mean, I think at this point it'll probably be after WWDC because I mean they said I think it's Ming Chi Kuo. He's pretty reliable with this kind of stuff.
Yep.
End of It's gonna happen at like the end of this year, which I think makes sense because it's still like a full redesign, and I guess there's a lot of things that Apple needs to figure out with the design and stuff still. Um,
Yep.
so I think
Yep.
it's okay that they're taking their time with it. And I mean, they recently released the M1 Air as well. Well, not recently, but like a little over a year ago. So there's still
Right.
some time for them to kind of work with stuff. And once they've done this redesign, then it'll be easier for them to update and stuff. Um,
Yeah.
so yeah,
Yeah.
I don't really mind. I don't, I It's not a computer that I'm gonna buy, but I would really like to see what it looks like and stuff. I think it would be really cool.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely. Definitely. I mean, I always like to say if there's still like things, just perfect as much as you can and release it when it's ready. I mean, if we gotta wait, we gotta wait. At least they're working things out and making sure that things are good to go when it does release. So That's a good thing about Apple. I mean, they do, even if they have to delay it a little bit, they always try to perfect everything and then, release your product. So,
Yeah.
but that's about it for what we have for today. Unless you got anything else you want to talk about, Benji?
No, I think we pretty much covered everything. Again, no Android stuff. We need
Thank
we need
God.
to we need to we need to cover Android a little bit more because I feel like a lot of people who probably watch or listen to this kind of care about Android in a way, a little bit.
Yeah, yeah.
We really don't, at least not that much, as you can
No,
tell.
no.
So I mean, if you guys have any suggestions of where we can find all like these hidden Android leaks, that would be great. Because
Yeah,
I tried to look on a bunch of different websites today and there's nothing. So
damn. Yeah, so if you guys have anything that you guys want us to cover here on the podcast, just let us know, tweet out at us, and we'll definitely get that going. As far as
yeah,
guests, Benji, I think we need to get a guest back on pretty soon. That'd be
yeah, because
cool.
I think this is like our third episode in a row without a guest. So
Yeah, yeah.
we need to do. So if you're a YouTube creator, please reach out.
Yeah,
If you're a
definitely.
tech,
Reach out.
or even if you're a tech enthusiast, like I don't think it necessarily needs to always be tech creators. Just if you love
True,
tech,
true. If
especially
you love tech
Apple.
and you want to come on, and you're not a scam person that just, like one time I had this one person, I'll tell this really quick. I had this one person come on and they were just like, oh, I have this problem, this problem, this problem. And at the end of the day, they're like, oh, you guys suck, this, that, the other. And I'm just like, what the heck? Like they come on just to trash us. So if you're one of those people, yeah, you're automatically gonna get kicked off. So don't be one of those people.
Yeah, don't
But yeah, if you're a
don't do
tech
that.
creator, tech enthusiast, you guys want to come on the podcast, let us know. I do have an idea for some people that want to come on, and I'll run that by you after the podcast. So with that being said, I think we have reached the end. We hope you guys enjoyed. Benji, if you want to do the outro.
Of course. As always, guys, if you have any questions, feel free to tweet at us. Check out all the articles we talked about in the show notes, and also you can follow us on social media, because that's very important. Do that in the description or the show notes below. Yeah, that's about it. This was episode 24 of the Tech Unlocked podcast. Thank you guys for watching and listening. We'll see you, or you'll hear from us next week.